Lizards are in the same family as snakes. Lizards are many different sizes, shapes and colours. Lizards have dry, scaly skin. They like to stay in the sun. Lizards eat plants, insects and small animals. Men sometimes use lizard skin to make wallets, gloves and shoes.
Lizard reads all. L reads all.
Leonardo the lizard, he lay on the sand. You can't catch me. Can't catch me, Leonardo said, in the tree or on land.
Leonardo lizard had a special way of moving. He went this way, then that way, then this way again. My, but he was quick. He was so hard to catch that hardly any of the animals wanted to play tag with him. When Leonardo lizard started to run, no one could be sure which way he would go. Leonardo lizard could go over rocks and under rocks. He could go along the ground and he could even go up in a tree. This way and that way he wiggled and wriggled. Almost no one could keep up with Leonardo lizard. Then there was Toodle Turtle. Oh, but Toodle Turtle was awkward and slow. Well, I guess we'd be slow and awkward too if we had to wear a big bowl over us like Toodle Turtle wore. Toodle Turtle was just as nice a turtle as you'd ever want to meet. All the other creatures liked him, but he was so slow. Little Toodle Turtle thought Leonardo lizard was the most interesting animal he had ever seen. How he envied the way Leonardo lizard could run. Toodle Turtle had only one speed, slow. He thought it would be wonderful if he could move like Leonardo lizard. He used to just sit and watch Leonardo lizard wriggle around the tree, over the rock, under a log, up the tree. Leonardo lizard was everywhere. No one, it seemed, could catch Leonardo lizard. Toodle Turtle loved to play games. However, he never did enjoy the tag games very much. When the little creatures played tag, Toodle Turtle was so easy to catch that it almost seemed unkind to chase him. When Toodle Turtle became it, oh my, the game was just about finished because there wasn't anybody that Toodle Turtle could catch. He would be it for the rest of the game. One lazy summer day, 4 small creatures were lying in the sun near the Lily Lolly River. Leonardo lizard and Toodle Turtle were there. Freddy Frog, who could hop, swim and run so well, was there too. Sammy Salamander was there also. Sammy Salamander could run on the land or swim in the water, but right now he lay there with his eyes closed, looking as if he were asleep. "Let's play tag," said Freddy Frog. Freddy Frog was good at tag, and it was his favourite game. Sammy Salamander opened one eye. "It's all right by me," he said, "if I don't have to be it first." "I'll be it," said Leonardo lizard. "I don't think I want to play," said Toodle Turtle. To tell the truth, he was afraid the other creatures did not want him to play. After all, he was so slow. "Oh, come on, Toodle. We want you to play," said Leonardo lizard. Away went Leonardo lizard as fast as lightning, chasing Freddy Frog. Freddy Frog leaped 4 big leaps, hid behind a rock for a minute, and then slipped out his head to see where Leonardo lizard was. Leonardo lizard skimmed over to Sammy Salamander. Sammy Salamander's other eye popped open and he slithered into the water, just out of Leonardo lizard's reach. Leonardo lizard immediately turned back to where Freddy Frog was hiding and caught him by surprise. "Tag, you're it," Leonardo lizard said to Freddy Frog. Freddy Frog took a couple of small leaps. Then he took one enormous leap right next to where Sammy Salamander stood. Sammy Salamander started to dive into the water, but Freddy Frog caught him. "Tag, you're it," Freddy Frog said. Sammy Salamander turned and reached for Freddy Frog. Freddy Frog leaped away quickly and Sammy Salamander didn't reach him. Sammy Salamander thought he would chase Leonardo Lizard again, but he couldn't even get close to Leonardo Lizard. Finally, he was getting tired of being it. Sammy Salamander slithered over to Toodle Turtle. Toodle Turtle scrambled madly with all 4 little feet, but he couldn't get away. "Tag, Toodle Turtle! You're it!" Oh dear. "I'll never catch anyone," Toodle Turtle thought. He ran towards Sammy Salamander, but Sammy Salamander slithered quickly away. He tried for Freddy Frog, but Freddy Frog jumped right over Toodle Turtle's shell and all. He started towards Leonardo Lizard, but he knew he could never catch the quick lizard. Or could he? Leonardo Lizard was wiggling and wriggling back and forth, but he didn't seem to be going anywhere. What was wrong? Toodle Turtle hurried towards his friend. He probably couldn't catch Leonardo Lizard, but he decided he would try. Nearer and nearer he came. How Leonardo Lizard wiggled and wriggled. Toodle Turtle gave one mighty push with all 4 little feet, and he did it. He had tagged Leonardo Lizard. He was so excited he could hardly believe it. "Tag!" he cried. "Leonardo Lizard, you're it!" Toodle Turtle was puffing and panting, but he was so happy he was no longer it. After the game, all the creatures were resting by Lily Lolly River. Leonardo Lizard climbed a tall tree. He still seemed to have plenty of energy, even though he had run more than all the other creatures. When he came down, Freddy Frog was waiting for him at the bottom of the tree. "Hey, Leonardo Lizard, how come Toodle Turtle caught you when we were playing tag today?" "I'm just having a slow day, I guess," answered Leonardo Lizard. "Maybe even you can catch me today," said Leonardo Lizard as he streaked up the tree ahead of Freddy Frog. Freddy Frog leaped and tried, but he never could catch Leonardo Lizard. Freddy Frog sat at the bottom of the tree, and he was thinking hard. "I think I know what happened," he said to himself. "Leonardo Lizard wanted to be a friend to Toodle Turtle. None of the rest of us are ever as nice to Toodle the Turtle as we could be, but I think Leonardo Lizard wanted to help him. It must be rather hard to carry your house around with you all the time. If Leonardo Lizard can be kind, I can be kind too. I'm going to think of something nice to do for Toodle Turtle." You can imagine how pleased the other creatures were when they noticed how nice Freddy Frog was to Toodle Turtle. Freddy Frog was pleased when Sammy Salamander was nice to Toodle Turtle too. When Sammy Salamander tried to be kind, it made Toodle Turtle want to be kinder. Everyone was happier just because Leonardo Lizard showed all the creatures that being kind was even better than winning a game of tag. Who was the swiftest runner? Leonardo Lizard. Who was the slowest runner? That's right, Toodle Turtle. What was Leonardo Lizard's favourite game? Did you say tag? Yes, that's right. Why didn't Toodle Turtle like to play tag? Yes, he was very slow and he couldn't catch the other players. Who wanted to be kind and helpful to Toodle Turtle? Yes, and Leonardo Lizard wanted to be kind and friendly towards him. What did Leonardo Lizard do to help Toodle Turtle? He allowed Toodle Turtle to catch him in a game of tag, didn't he? What did the other animals want to do when they saw Leonardo Lizard being so kind? Yes, they wanted to be kind too. What is even better than winning a game? Yes, being kind. It makes everyone feel good.
Listen as I tell you a word. Can you hear the L sound? Lulled. Can you hear the L sound in the word lulled? Yes, lulled has the L sound. Met. Can you hear the L sound in the word met? No, met doesn't have the L sound. Dill. Can you hear the L sound in the word dill? Yes, dill has the L sound. Mind. Can you hear the L sound in the word mind? No, mind doesn't have the L sound. Ball. Can you hear the L sound in the word ball? Yes, ball has the L sound. Let. Can you hear the L sound in the word let? Yes, let has the L sound. Still. Can you hear the L sound in the word still? Yes, still has the L sound. Right. Can you hear the L sound in the word right? No, right doesn't have the L sound. Lick. Can you hear the L sound in the word lick? Yes, lick has the L sound. Sting. Can you hear the L sound in the word sting? No, sting doesn't have the L sound. Listen as I read a sentence. Can you find the word that has the L sound? Let me be your friend. Can you find the word that has the L sound? Let me be your friend. That's right. Let has the L sound. Put a ball in the basket. Can you find the word that has the L sound? Put the ball in the basket. That's right. Ball has the L sound. A mouse can sit very still. Can you find the word that has the L sound? A mouse can sit very still. That's right. Still. My puppy tried to lick my nose. Can you find the word that has the L sound? My puppy tried to lick my nose. That's right. Lick. Did you see a silly monkey? Can you hear the L sound? Did you see a silly monkey? That's right. Silly has the L sound. Let's blend these sounds. L, A, L, A, lay. L, A, L, A, la. L, A, L, A, la. L, E, L, E, lee. L, A, L, A, le. L, I, L, I, lie. L, I, L, I, li. L, O, L, O, low. L, A, L, A, la. A, L, A, L, ale. A, L, A, L, al. A, L, A, L, al. E, L, E, L, eel. A, L, A, L, L. I, L, I'll, I'll. Ill, ill. All, all. I'll. Let's blend these sounds into words. T, l, t, l, tail, tail. P, l, p, l, pale, pale. M, l, l, male, male. H, l, hail, hail. T, l, tail, tail. P, l, pale, pale. Lame, lame. B-l-a-m, b-l-a-m, blame, blame. F-l-a-m, f-l-a-m, flame, flame. B-a-l-l, b-a-l-l, ball, ball. F-a-l-l, f-a-l-l, fall, fall. H-a-l-l, h-a-l-l, hall, hall. L-a-n-d, l-a-n-d, land, land. L-a-d, l-a-d, lad, lad. L-a-s, l-a-s, lass, lass. H-e-e-l, h-e-e-l, heel, heel. F-e-e-l, f-e-e-l, feel, feel. P-e-e-l, p-e-e-l, peel, peel. M-e-l, m-e-l, meal, meal. S-e-l, s-e-l, seal, seal. D-e-l, d-e-l, deal, deal. B-e-l, b-e-l, bell, bell. F-e-l, f-e-l, fell, fell. S-e-l, s-e-l, sell, sell. We are going to learn some sight words. Sight words are words that we use a lot when reading and writing. Sometimes these words do not have an image that can go with them. They're just words that you need to understand and memorize when you see them. Let's learn some of these words. Other, 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 other. Another. It was so good, I'll have another. Another, 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 another. Mother. Who is your mother? Mother, 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 mother.
Dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, 1b. This verse tells us that Jesus was kind and loving, and that people liked him. As Christians, we ought to be as Jesus, kind and loving. Let's learn this verse and try to live each day so that we will be pleasing to God. Today our story is about Jesus. You know that we celebrate the birthday of Jesus at Christmas time, and you know he was born in a manger. You may not have heard about the things that happened as he was growing up. We will think about those things today. Though Jesus was God, when he came to earth, he was born as a little baby, just as you were. He had to learn to walk as you did. He was fed and cared for by his mother, just as you were cared for by your mother. He was a good and obedient child because Jesus did not sin. He lived a perfect life. Joseph and Mary took Jesus to the temple for a special dedication ceremony, and they gave him the name the angel had told Mary he should be called, Jesus. Just then, Simeon, an aged man who loved God very much, had been led to the temple. God had promised Simeon that Simeon would see the Lord before Simeon died. When Simeon saw the baby Jesus, he blessed God and said, "This is the one who will bring salvation." Simeon then told God that he was ready to die. Joseph and Mary then returned with Jesus to the city of Nazareth, where Joseph was a carpenter. The Bible tells us little about these years. And the child, Jesus, grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. What do you think this verse means? What kind of child do you think Jesus was? Yes, I think he was always obedient to his parents. I think he was never afraid because he was strong in spirit. He was very wise. Jesus was a good friend and always helpful and kind. When Jesus was 12 years old, his parents took him to the city of Jerusalem to a special celebration. When it was time to go home, Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. Joseph and Mary had gone with a large group, perhaps their family and friends. They thought he was somewhere in the large group with which they were travelling. When the first day was finished and it was night time, they looked and realised that Jesus was not with the group. How worried they were. What had happened to Jesus? They would have to go all the way back to Jerusalem to find him. Quickly they turned back to Jerusalem, looking all the way. Finally, after 3 days of looking, they found him in the temple. There, among all the most learned men in the whole country, sat Jesus. Instead of Jesus learning from these wise religious teachers, these men were learning from him. Everyone who heard him was astonished at his understanding and answers. Although he was only 12 years old, he was God and he was already wise. Of course, when his mother and Joseph found him, they were amazed. Jesus knew that God was his father, and Jesus said to Joseph and Mary, "Why did you look for me? Didn't you know I would have to be about my father's business?" They didn't understand him. Perhaps they forgot that even though he was still only a child, he was God. Jesus went home with Joseph and Mary, and the Bible teaches that he was subject to them. That means that he obeyed them and was a good child. Many times his mother thought about the words he had said. The Bible teaches that Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favour with God and man. You know that when he increased in wisdom, that means he became wiser and smarter. What does it mean when the Bible states that Jesus increased in stature? That means he grew. Yes, just as you are growing, Jesus grew, taller and heavier day by day, becoming first a young person and then a man. What does it mean when it says Jesus grew in favour with God and man? It means that God was more and more pleased with him. As Jesus developed into a thoughtful, obedient, mature person, it means that people loved him. Jesus grew up and was baptized by John the Baptist. At that time, God sent another sign that Jesus was his own son. The Holy Spirit came from heaven in the form of a dove. A voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." From that time, Jesus began to preach and to do the miracles that we read about in the New Testament. After 3 years of teaching and preaching, the time came for Jesus to die. This was in the plan of God, but it was hard to understand. Jesus was beaten and nailed to a cross. God laid on him all the sins of the world, and these sins separated Christ from his Father, God. The burden was so great that Jesus cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" His blood was shed to pay for my sin and your sin, and he died there. He was buried in a grave, but on the third day, a wonderful thing happened. Jesus rose from the dead. He appeared before his disciples, and then he went back to heaven to stay with his Father until it is time for him to come again and set up his kingdom on earth. What a wonderful story of Jesus' love. Remember that Jesus Christ is our example. You, as a child, ought to try to be exactly as Jesus was when he was growing up. He was obedient and he grew in wisdom and in stature and in favour with God and man. You are growing in size, and I hope you are also growing wiser each day. You please God when you study and learn things in school. It is most important that we grow in favour with God and man as Jesus did. This means we learn to get along with other people and do the right thing. It means we obey God's commandments and try hard to please him. Let's try to be more like Jesus every day. Luke 2, Matthew 3, 27 and 28, Acts 1, 9 to 11. Character objective. Cooperative. To work with others. When we are kind and loving, other people are too. Then we can work and play together in a happy way. We should work or dwell with others in unity. Dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, 1b. Dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, 1b. Dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, 1b. Say it with me. Dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, 1b. One more time. Dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, 1b.
Lizard reads all. L reads all.
Leonardo the lizard, he lay on the sand. You can't catch me.